Time flies when you've had a pandemic. Can you believe that it's already been 3.5 years since the VW T-Roc launched locally? To me, it feels a little bit early, but here we are today with the facelifted model. So what's changed? Well, let's find out.
When the T-Roc launched locally in 2020, a few motoring scribes were not happy about the interior quality.
But unfortunately, it is let down by these plastics, which make it look a little bit cheaper than I would like it to be.
But I've heard from colleagues that the interior of the T-Roc is not, up there with the price tag.
The facelift seems to improve on that with what looks and feels like plasher materials and a different layout. Or perhaps it's the new 8-inch infotainment system that makes it look more modern. Besides that, this crossover's overall interior space is a yuppie's delight. It's dark, chic, and offers just enough space for a startup family or a high-earning member of the youth. Boot space sits at 392 litres, which doesn't look like much due to the shallow boot floor, but it's still 18 more litres than what a Golf 8 offers. The T-Roc's external visual changes are subtle, and the car retains its stylish appearance, enhanced even more on our test model due to the R-Line package, which gives the vehicle 19-inch wheels, aggressive bumpers, and of course, the appropriate badging to show the haters. The most notable change, however, is up front with a brand new lighting system featuring an LED light which runs across the front grille. This vehicle was also equipped with VW's ever clearer and brighter IQ LED matrix lighting system.
The same has been done at the rear of the vehicle, as it now features LED lights at the back, and overall, the car looks more modern. The T-Roc is the perfect SUV for somebody who has just come out of a Golf but didn't want something as big as a Tiguan. We need to remember that in South Africa, the Golf 8 is only offered in GTI guise, which really leaves a bit of a gap for those who want the size of a Golf but don't need the performance of a Golf GTI, and that is where the T-Roc comes in. There are two engines on offer. We've got a 1.4 turbo and a 2-litre turbo, and I'm currently in the latter. And this 2-litre turbo produces 140 kilowatts and 320 newton meters, and it's mated to a 7-speed DSG gearbox. And as a result, from a daily driving perspective, you've got the right blend of power and responsiveness. You can always overtake with ease, and you never really feel like you're lacking power in your daily commute. In fact, if you're a petrol head, you'll know that this car produces very similar power to a Polo GTI. But as they say, with great power comes great responsibility. But they should rather say, with great power comes high fuel economy, because these 2-litre turbos, if your foot is very heavy, they tend to get quite thirsty. But if you behave, you should average around about 8 litres per 100. Being an R-Line model and riding on lovely 19-inch wheels, you would think that the ride quality would be quite firm as a result. But interestingly, that isn't the case. I was quite surprised to feel that this car is firm enough for you to take corners confidently, but at the same time, it's soft enough to handle the imperfections that we find on Johannesburg roads. My favorite attribute of this car is its practicality. It looks bigger than a Golf, but it's only 10 centimeters taller. And for someone in my life stage, it really suits my needs quite well. So if you have small kids, if you've got dogs to shuttle around, if you've got a lot of grocery shopping to do, this car will be able to handle that with ease. And the good thing is, if you've got an adventurous spirit and you want to go away for the weekend, but you're going to encounter some gravel roads, this car can handle it. It's got 158 millimeters of ground clearance, which means you don't have to do the old school left-right maneuver when you're going over humps. If you think back to your old city Golf days, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But the point that I'm making is that this car is quite versatile. In fact, because this is the 4Motion, I've even got different drive modes that I can select depending on the terrain that I will be covering. All in all, the facelifted T-Roc is a welcome addition, as the vehicle now looks as modern as its other siblings, especially at night with that LED strip that looks like a vehicle that is from the future. At just over 700,000 Rand for this top-of-the-range variant, the T-Roc does carry quite a hefty price tag, especially considering that there is a lot to choose from in this market in our country. The T-Roc does come with a decent amount of standard kit. I've got LED lights that come as standard, I've got adaptive cruise control, I've got keyless entry, and I've even got this digital cockpit, which is the digital driver's display. VW just calls it a cockpit to be fancy. But that being said, the argument can be made that its rivals also offer a decent amount of standard available items. You can save yourself close to 100,000 Rand if you opt for the entry-level 1.4 TSI, which starts off at just over 600,000 Rand, which is still not cheap. Well, if you do opt to get yourself a T-Roc, at least you know you're getting a high-quality item from a brand that many South Africans love. Unless I'm just trying to make myself feel better because I like this car.